Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Kim.
I'm Vern.
And we're the two gym gypsies. We had the fortunate opportunity to be able to spend 3 weeks in beautiful Sri Lanka, and we went during their crisis, and we wanted to let you know the top 5 things that we didn't know before we got there that will help you travel well in Sri Lanka. So today we're going to tell you the top 5 things that we found were the most helpful and may help you while you're traveling there as well.
Number 1 on the list, smile. These people are kind, loving, caring people. And if you smile, they will smile. And if they smile at you, smile back. They're great.
We say this as number 1 because we come from Canada. And in Canada, we're not used to people smiling at us first. And we found that while we were traveling in Sri Lanka, everybody was smiling at us initially. And we were in such shock because we're not used to that, but loved it so much that we had to learn to smile back. And by our 3 weeks of being there, our faces were sore from smiling so much because everybody in Sri Lanka is so friendly and so welcoming and always smiling at us and making us feel like $1,000,000. So that is why smiling is number 1. Number 2, when you have money to exchange, bring it to a jewelry store, an accredited jewelry store. I know this sounds a little crazy, but you will get much more bang for your buck on your exchange rate when you bring your own currency, specifically US dollars, Canadian dollars, Euro, or the UK pound. Those are the top 4 that we noticed they wanted the most of, especially during their crisis because their money has plummeted. And so our money is worth so much more. So we brought Canadian and US dollars, and the bigger the bills, the better, specifically hundreds, 50s. Bring those to a jewelry store and ask them for their best exchange rate and negotiate that exchange rate. You will get a lot of bang for your buck. That is number 2. Very important.
Okay, number 3, the food, spicy. When you say spicy, it's going to be really, really spicy. No spice still means spice. So if you don't like spice or just a little bit of spice, say no spice and it'll be spicy enough.
Be careful. Our Canadian, or I should say Western stomachs can't handle a lot of spice. So be very careful with the food, especially some of the curries. Okay, tip number 4 when traveling through Sri Lanka, and we did not know this ahead of time, we learned this as we went. If you're traveling and if there's a possibility that you can forfeit using Agoda and Airbnb and physically walk up to the hotel and pay in cash, you will get a way better rate. Example, I looked on Agoda and one of the hotels we stayed at on Agoda was $100 a night. And I walked up to the hotel and I asked them what their best price was in cash. And we ended up paying $32 a night. So if there's a way that you can book your next place in person and negotiate in cash, you will get a much better rate, guaranteed. Okay, tip number 5. If you have a little bit more time to travel like Vern and I did, use the local bus and or train. We never took the train, but I know that taking the train is super cheap. We took local bus everywhere when we weren't renting a scooter. So what we would do is we would travel from destination to destination on bus. And then when we got there, we would rent a scooter. Make sure that when you take the local bus that you ask them what the price is before getting on the bus, because we made that mistake once and we got charged double what everyone else would pay. And mind you, even at being charged double, it was nothing. But normally you would pay local price. So take the buses. Some buses are air conditioned, some are not, most are not, but it was totally safe and it's so cheap. And then once you get to your destination, if you're comfortable taking scooter, then we paid 1,500 Indonesian rupee per day on average to rent the scooter, which for us Canadian was about $5 to $6. So that's what we paid. But definitely take the bus. It's cheap and easy to get around, and there are a gazillion buses in it. So in closing, we would like to say that Sri Lanka is 100% safe to travel to right now, even during their economic crisis. We never once felt unsafe during our time there.
If anything, we felt loved and cared for.
And appreciated.
These people are just the kindest people you'll ever meet. One of the best countries I've been to for the kindest people.
Definitely 100%. Everyone was willing to help us and wanted to help us everywhere we went. If we looked lost or if we had questions about the bus service, the train service, where to eat, where to go, everyone was helpful. We didn't have one negative experience whatsoever. We waited in line for gas one time for our scooter, and they pushed us through and told us, you know what, you guys are tourists, go. And just were so appreciative that we would come to their country and that we were still coming and supporting them during their hardship.
Yeah, I just love the people.
They were
I love
amazing.
the people.
And don't feel that their issues government-wise are going to be affecting you. They are not angry at tourists. They want you to come. They want you to be there, and they're just so happy to see you guys. And just come. They need us. They need us to be able to continue, and they need our support, especially now. Especially now. So go to Sri Lanka. We had an amazing time, and we would highly recommend. Take care, guys.